quickly is definitely here. Clinks will add some good another tool to deal with Chen creeps. So
they're trying to find a way to deal with Chen. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Death Pact is a solution, but again, that doesn't solve what I'm harping on here. At least that's another hero without any real control. Great burst damage though.
I'm worried for Ad Finem when it comes to the 5-man game. If EHOME gets in my mind, Ad Finem can accomplish a lot if the early game goes.
Yeah. They have a lot of pick-off potential. Oh, okay. I mean, I think that you're right. There is some potential if things go their way, and if EHOME let them get those pickoffs, they could kind of snowball this. You know, you've got Hookshot that can isolate people if you have a numbers advantage. Again, Disruption Arrow. Clinks can pop in behind a Doom target. They have a lot of ways, you know, to just catch this storm and shut him down. But once EHOME start grouping up in 5-manning, that's when things get a little bit tricky. As long as EHOME don't feed away too many, you know, pick-off type kills, if this Chen doesn't get totally destroyed in the jungle by Doom, which I imagine there's going to be some counter-jungling here. I don't think they're going to let Garter just sit back and farm to his heart's content.
Там впоследствии, да, естественно, с Ченом получится. В общем...
Especially into a Doom as well. That's one of the better heroes to deal with Storm.
Where he can get picks, where he can farm up slowly, get toward those key items that he needs to scale and become a carry. And I don't know if this was the route they should have taken. One way of doing it could have been to take more of a teamfight setup mid, like something like a Puck that could enable Chen and Luna to really collapse and set up a fight. And the other one, if they want more of a carry type mid, I think a hero like Shadow Fiend would have been really, really good for the timing they're looking for.
Remember, Puck was banned this game too.
That's true. They banned Puck themselves, just like that archetype hero, you know, that can perform that type of role.
I think the Shadow Fiend is a good example, though. That could have fit in with the, you know, early SF group up, high burst
I don't know
damage.
if they play Brewmaster. I could have totally seen that working as well, something like that. But let's do some predictions, Andrew.
Yep.
First tower. This is a Chen lineup. Do we believe in the early push? I think 5 to 8 is.
That's what I chose. I think before 5 is.
Good. Oh, I have really low time left. First Roche kill will go to Ad Finem. They're going to get the Clinks. Highest amount of physical damage. We'll do in one hit. 0 to 500. Number of Ancient Camps stacked. 0 to 5. No, I didn't pick. Oh.
I did 6 to 10. And I actually chose EHOME for first Roche kill. I think they're going to knock down towers and control the Roche.
That could totally happen as well.
Yeah. Ad Finem might get the second Roche. I totally believe that, but...
Yeah, I kind of had 10 seconds, so that was very, very quick.
Well done, though. You made the best of it. So it looks like fairly predictable lanes coming out of Ad Finem. They'll do a dual lane up top with Shadow Demon Clinks. Right now, Spartan's on the Doom. Windlace, Stout Shield just rotating around. He's looking for the Chen, and he will find him. Camp does end up getting blocked out. It's a ward down as well. He'll just continue the chase into the jungle. Mirana mid here on Thug, as you mentioned, fairly predictable, and then Skylark takes the Sark off lane.
The good thing for Ad Finem here is that because of the support combination that EHOME have and the lanes that there are, this Ogre right now has to play safe lane support. And I think this is the weakest way of playing Ogre overall. I'm not saying they're making a mistake by doing it. They're kind of in a position where they might have to. But Ogre is so strong in lane that you don't want him to, you know, babysit. You want Ogre to enable a lane, to go and crush someone and get a big advantage. But when you're playing him in the safe lane like this with a Luna, a lot of other support done the same, and you're kind of missing some of Ogre's potential this way.
I mean, we've been seeing a lot of Ogres sit mid recently. It feels like that's been kind of the more common role. Rotate between the lanes and try and pressure mid as much as you can and also control runes.
Well, Spartan and Garter are having a good game, by the way. Neither of them has got any experience, minute 130, so...
Well, so this is like the shutdown strat. Spartan sacrificing himself to shut down the Chen. Which hero can do more with less in this regard? I feel like in some ways, Chen can recover maybe easier than Doom. Yeah, we're going to rotate in.
Wait, whose tornado is that? Oh, Chen actually got a creep.
Yeah.
Oh, he is fine. That's a value
HP?
tango.
3 HP? Wow.
That's a really high value tango.
This is one pesky tornado, though.
But okay, so what just ended up happening here is actually very important for the game. Survived, and Doom has to suicide. He committed for that kill and didn't get it, so now Chen gets a game. He will be able to farm up this camp a little bit, he'll be able to go and get his next creep before Doom comes in again, and now Doom is even showing his face in the mid lane. So, where by the way, we might want to add, Thug is getting absolutely crushed by Old Chicken. This is, I don't even think this is a Storm favored lane early on, and Storm is 14-3 against 5-2. And there's been no interference here, mind you. No one has been here. It's been a one-on-one, I think.
Spartan, he walks up to the high ground. He takes a lot of damage here. I don't know if this is a kill for Old Chicken, but this Doom is going to be forced to walk back to the well. Oh my, this is hell of a slow start for him. Not only is this opening up for the Chen, but he's getting shut down in turn. I think he suicides again here, perhaps. No, he's going to devour first.
Yeah.
Top, what do we got here? Old 11, maybe in some trouble. Out of mana. Nowhere to go but that poor man's shield doing some work as he will survive the right clicks. Soul Catcher, not enough.
Poor man's shield is such a god tier item. It's like,
yeah, it really is.
If you think about what value you get for it, you pay. Probably some of the best items in Dota are, you know, like Poor Man's Shield, Quelling Blade. Obviously, Boots is the obvious choice that every hero more or less buys, right? But
Ring of Basilius is up there.
Bass is definitely a good purchase in a lot of games. But yeah, I'm a big Poor Man's Shield fan. I actually think some offlaners don't buy it enough. It's of course great. It's obvious why it's good when you're playing an agility hero, right? Because then you even get damage from it. But I actually think a lot of like strength type offlaners, or even some int ones, could use Poor Man's Shield in some situations where it's perfect against this type of lane, right? You're against a lane that literally is right click. Shadow Demon and Clinks will only hit. So this is like the most incredible bang for your buck you can get. It's 500 gold and it's just letting him lane right now.
Spartan, meanwhile, in the jungle. I think he's in a bit of a sticky wicket here. Old Lanham comes in. He's got a haste rune on the Ogre. And Spartan is now out of Scorched Earth.
He is super dead.
He is in so deep. Another Penitence comes out from Garter, and this is going to end up being a feed, unfortunately. First Blood now goes the way of the Chen. You pick the Doom to shut down the Chen, and it swings the other way. EHOME now in a pretty comfortable position here as we get close to the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, Storm is still looking very good mid. The Luna has the highest CS by quite a bit. That's
Shadow
the other
Demon.
thing.
Ooh, he gets the denied. Very nice. Maybe they can kill Old 11 here. He's out of mana. No Carapace, no stun. Starstorm comes. Arrow sidestepped by the Bug. Bug now out of mana. Does not have a leap for 15. Sips that bottle, but I think this Nyx Assassin might be able to make it to a suicide. He will.
Oh, will he?
Uh-oh. Doom on the way. He gets him with the Hadouken. Oh, Spartan. Very nice.
That's actually very big. That is Doom back in the game.
What a ridiculous sequence. So the Shadow Demon gets the deny first, and then the Doom comes in and prevents the deny from the Nyx. What a topsy-turvy game here, Sind. Weird sequence.
Yeah, now Ad Finem ported their SD mid. I think they were looking to try to get a disruption into arrow combination, but Old Chicken already jumped away. So this gives even more space to Nyx, and this is something I wanted to talk about, like how the offlaners are doing, not just for themselves, but for their team. So Skylark, level 4 in the Clockwork. The Nyx is almost level 5. Oh, yep.
Set up onto the Storm. Arrow connects.
Combo.
He does have raindrops, though.
He's fine.
And he'll, yeah, just fine. He's got 2 charges left in that bottle. Also, Thug makes it to the high ground. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, so what I was going to get at is not only does the Nyx have more than the Clock, but the corresponding safe laner also has less. So Nyx has managed to contest Madara more, not necessarily by preventing him from hitting creeps, but by being such a threat in the lane that they felt like they had to go on him and try to kill him. And that costs CS for the safe laner. Meanwhile, Luna has just been farming bottom. Like, the Clock has been zoned pretty well by Ogre. So there's an 8 CS lead for the Luna. The Nyx is 11 CS ahead of the Clockwork. And the mid is also being won. So actually all 3 lanes, in my opinion, going very well for EHOME in this early game.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's found a Shadow Demon top. This could be a problem for maybe next time if this clap hits. Yeah, he is actually super dead.
Slows him down. These creeps do a lot of damage. He gets off the disruption. Luna gets a solo kill on Clockwork, by the way, as this is happening. Maybe next time pops out. They chase the illusion. Beautiful juke. But there's still a stun from Old 11, rather. They almost
didn't see Madara there. I think he was in the fog. That could have gone horribly wrong for him. He tanked the stun together with him.
Yeah. Unfortunate. There was actually a thunderclap up that would have been pretty close to a kill if Chen had just committed for it. Yeah, I think you're right. They couldn't see him across the tree line. Still pretty good for EHOME, getting kills across the map. Of course, Luna getting a solo kill, as you mentioned. Sylar already farming very nicely now, happily level 7, pulls a creep here into the jungle camp. He's in great shape, controlling this lane all day. Aquila treads. This is a pretty happy Luna at 7 minutes.
Nice read here from Spartan. Just a little detail. He saw the cast animation from Old Lanham begin on Ignite, so he knew he had uphill vision and immediately sentries that ward that was in the dire jungle. So he gets rid of that. Moonlight Shadow.
Maybe
saving Spartan as it looks.
Down to about half HP. There's a rotation on the way from the backside, though. Skylark does not have hook shot. He's only level 4, but still has Cogs. Level 2 battery assault initiates onto Garter, blocks him inside of the Cogs. Lanham trying to zone out the rest of the team alongside Old 11. The channel fall solo to the Clockwork, but now they're going to commit to this still of the Radiant perspective. Old 11 trying to make it out as the Ogre tries to split the other way. Dire drop down the ward to get a little bit of extra vision. Meanwhile, up top, Lanham will basically sacrifice himself to ensure the survival of the next. Meanwhile, though, on the other side, he's not even going to be successful. The Mirana does get the kill. Old Chicken can't save him. It ends kind of disastrously for EHOME. It's another one of those long, kind of spread out fights, but Ad Finem get the better of it just with a numbers advantage after the Chen went down.
Exactly. They had the rotation of Clockwork, which made that fight. A very good decision from Skylark. I think a lot of offlaners won't go for this play. Like, you're level 4 in the offlane, you feel like, I'm not doing too well. I need to stay in lane and get my level 6 so I can make my comeback. But he makes it work with the tools he has. This Moonlight Shadow actually just gave the Clockwork the perfect fight, isolating Chen, killing him off, and then being able to just split fight in half. What we didn't see during that fight is, of course, Sylar's farming, and Klink's wasn't. So now he's pulling very far ahead on the net worth here with the Luna, actually at a full 1,300 gold advantage over the corresponding Klinks on the enemy team. That's major lead minute 8 in this type of game.
Look at this. Now Klinks is rotating. He's level 7, 3 points into Searing Arrows. Try to set up on Sylar perhaps, but there is an Eclipse. So they need to be very careful if they're thinking about having a go on this Luna. It's peculiar to me, though.
Yeah, he just got spotted. His skeleton walk ran out. That's a bit of a mistake here by Madara.
They're on top of the ward. Still, this is just strange in general. The Klink's trying to rotate like this. It's a high opportunity cost, not sitting in lane farming. Maybe they'll try to pressure this tower to make up for it.
I think maybe next time will be one pressure.
Oh, nice disruption on the Nyx. But in comes the Storm. Vortex, it's there. They've got the follow-up stun, and Shadow Demon will die. No TP for you, little Shadow Demon.
I don't think AF have enough power to take this bottom tower right now. They're going to Moonlight Shadow. They're being pressured really hard. Like, their mid lane's being pushed by Ogre Luna. Their top lane is now going to be pushed by Nyx Storm. They kind of have to pick which lane they defend. I don't think they can hold both. And at the same time, how much pressure can they really put bottom? Madara is doing his best, but just these little Chen creeps are actually being annoying enough to stop him from hitting the tower.
Garter gets scouted out by the Rocket Flare, but again, Clockwork still isn't level 6, so there's no threat of hookshot, and I think they know it. Channel just sit behind the tower and feel pretty safe. Madara, Death Pact onto one of those Hellbear Smashers. But very little damage comes out on this tower. Meanwhile, up top, Old Chicken just about to finish off this tier 1. No glyph, so that'll be a freebie. And mid, they got some chip damage in, but it will be a 1-for-0 tower exchange. Storm Spirit now starting to get some pretty serious momentum. Sin still way ahead of the Mirana, actually starting to close the gap against the Luna, who's been farming so well. Now Ad Finem grouped up as 5. They want this bottom tower. Doom, not quite yet level 6. He's very close. This is sort of an awkward time to take the fight when they don't have his ultimate. Great stun from Old 11. Hookshot in from Skylark to try and break it up, but Luna comes around the backside, and the Eclipse is doing so much damage. Ad Finem lose 3 to start the fight, and they are now in full retreat mode. It's not only a great defense from EHOME, but an amazing initiative as well. About 1,500 net worth exchange as EHOME pulls further into the lead.
Now that was, I think, Ad Finim's idea wasn't too bad there. They had a very well-placed sentry anticipating Nyx's movement. Nyx was about to Vendetta hit the Doom when he started side things. He was like, okay, Doom definitely sees me, so just goes for the stun, manages to get a double, and Luna coming in from the side with a very good Eclipse there. Nicely set up. We'll give them a tower to boot here as well.
Looking to mount a defense. Tower will go down. Glyph's already been used, but Thug in the tree line has an arrow. We'll hold on to it for now. Skylark, no hookshot. It's still on cooldown. Klink's actually initiated on EHOME, retreating, and actually doing decent damage as well. Old 11 hit by the arrow, but he is invisible with Vendetta. They've got some AoE damage, but they won't have enough to bring him down. Old Chicken pops out of the disruption, trying to zip-zap away, and he might just make it. Confused Raindrop's doing a lot of work as now they turn on to Skylark on the far right. They'll get stunned into the tree line. They lose the Nyx Assassin. EHOME trying to minimize their losses here. Finally, Doom used on the Luna. They'll kill the Storm Spirit, and they will actually clean this up. Hookshot comes back for Skylark, and EHOME lose all of their cores.
Yeah, nice by Ad Finem there to keep chasing through. That looked like it could actually become a turnaround at one point, but they had a good amount of information the whole time, like the sentry once again spotting out the Nyx and the Vendetta, so he didn't really get to play that fight the way he wanted, ends up getting killed off as well. And more than anything, just Ad Finem's willingness to fight. They just lost a fight and their tower was getting pushed and they very quickly make the right read to go. Oh, old 11, that's pretty
TP
cocky.
here. Teammates
Pretty
are not
dead.
nearby and they just destroy him.
That was not...
That was peculiar.
Yeah,
and he didn't even have Vendetta there to try and live. That was just a, as you put
There
it,
was no
very
backup
cocky.
either. I think he was trying to play a mind game there, seeing if he could intimidate them to give up that tower kill. They didn't get phased for a second by his TP there, just went straight for the kill and got that as a little bonus.
You know, overall, this is a pretty big swing. You look at that team net worth graph, and it was a 5K lead for EHOME, now down to 1,000, maybe 500. Ad Finem actually taking the experience edge. They still don't have the leading farmers, but now that Clockwork, the Doom, their 3 and their 4 are moving up in the charts. He's actually looking like an item could come out here. Doom's still on brown boots, but 1,700 gold. Maybe a Blink Dagger in his near future.
I think Midas is probably his choice.
Okay.
Just
Another way
so
to deal with creeps, yeah.
the Chen will be almost a non-factor at that point. Like what EHOME hasn't managed to accomplish that much. Well, they've taken 2 towers. It's actually all right, but the Chen will start being pretty weak now. And that was what I was talking about earlier. Like, what's Chen setting up for? Now they've got this early game and they have a Storm, but they don't have this 5-man power. So if Chen falls off and his creeps won't be useful, what's the role of the hero in the game? Needs to get his Ags, basically. That's the only one they can't devour in Midas or Arrow. So
It's true. And it looks like he'll do that. He's going to skip the mech and go Arcane Boots right into Point Booster.
100% the right choice this game. That's for sure. Else he won't really get to play. It's kind of boring, you know, playing Chen without creeps. It's not
Penitence, though, man.
the best hero.
Built-in Orchid. Alright, Glyph comes out on that tier 1 tower in the mid lane, taking some pressure from the creeps. Actually, old Cardi putting some work in. Spartan wants that Midas. He's getting pretty close. EHOME are definitely taking a slightly more quiet turn. Nyx has his Arcane Boots now. Luna has Yasha Dragonlance. She's still farming very nicely. You know, even though Storm has now been surpassed by the Clinks, Old Chicken is still on a pretty good path here. He's got 1,400 gold, working towards a Bloodstone most likely. Still not a bad place for the Storm to be in, 15 minutes in this game. Down bottom, could see a rotation, though, coming on to Lanham. Looks like Clink's already initiated. Skylark inbound, and this will just be a nice, easy pickoff. Clockwork getting credit for that one there with his Rocket Flare. Very nice.
It isn't the most valuable kill, though. They're basically making a rotation with their Clinks and Clockwork to kill a 5, and their lanes are being pushed in. So if I'm EHOME there, I don't consider this a major loss, because they're... At the end of the day, I think the net gain is like 0. They missed a couple of creep waves. They now have to go back and defend and lose a bit of map control for that kill. Usually when you get a kill, you feel like you're gaining map control, but honestly, what did it really bring with it? Now they're TPing back. And this is something you'll see Lanham do a lot, actually. Especially when he's playing Ogre, he will play cocky. He'll just push out lanes, knowing that if the enemy commits to kill him, they probably need 2 or 3 heroes, and then makes them wonder, is it actually worth going for the rotation? If he was a carry, you would not even think twice, It's obviously worth it, but killing at 1,400 net worth Ogre. Well.
And especially in a game, jungle here, Old 11 gets scouted out, Sentry Ward comes down, he does get off the Spike Carapace, but now it's a 3-on-1, it's way too much damage, and the Nyx Assassin will hand his life over. Ad Finem get another pick off, Madara getting credit for that. Being pretty close to this Desolator, I think he actually has it coming out on the Courier, he sure does. This is going to be a big boost for Ad Finem now with all that minus armor.
They've been doing a very good job at finding the Nyx. This is a hero that I was saying Old 11 is very known for playing super well, and he's currently got 6 deaths minute 16. 6 of... I guess one of them might have been a suicide to neutrals, but still, it's like... Ad Finem have been doing a great job at not only having the sentries available, but placing them at the right place at the right time and reading the map movements very well. And Nyx is a very momentum-based hero. If you're not feeling it all of a sudden, the hero gets difficult to play. You start doubting yourself, you're not sure where you can run, you can't really gather information for your team. Old 11 is, he was pretty far ahead of Clockwork. Now he's actually a decent amount behind.
Yeah, the other aspect of this game is Thug's Murano. We talked about the window before Aghanims comes out. A little bit weak. Yeah, you pick off Chen creeps, but you still don't have that burst damage to really clear waves. That Aghanims is done. So we're at 17 minutes now, and Thug is ready to rock and roll and really start doing a lot of damage in these team fights. That, coupled with the Desolator, obviously they don't synergize naturally, but it's a huge burst in damage across the board. This next team fight might be a little rocky here for EHOME. You see Madara pushing forward. They're ready to take a fight if they can find the opening. Radiant Observer giving some good intel here, though, into the positioning of Ad Finem. Clockwork, unfortunately, not smoked up, will be revealed, and EHOME will not fall for the trap. They just back on up.
At this point, this definitely feels like a very even game where EHOME would probably like to just keep it at this lower pace. Get Chen the Aghanims, get Storm 1 or 2 big items, get the Luna farmed up and fight, because the early spike that they had is over. And I think right now they're weaker than Ad Finem by far, now that the Aghanims comes out on Mirana. There's a lot of damage all of a sudden on this Ad Finem lineup, and they can't really match it. Storm is not at a point where he can just jump in with confidence. He can get doomed, he could get hookshot, he could get disrupted into arrow. He needs something more than just a bloodstone before they really would want to fight, I think. So it's on Ad Finem to make stuff happen. And they look to take some initiative right away, identifying that they're probably in a powerful position right now. Smoking down into Radiant Jungle, there's a positive scan. They really don't want to go for this guy, though. Oh, he broke the smoke, actually.
EHOME kind of called this out. They circled it on the map, but now Ogre gets disrupted, and Doom going in deep, not going to be able to find the Luna. Lanham, of course, will be brought down. As you mentioned, of all the heroes to get caught in a rotation like that, Ogre pretty much the ideal target from the EHOME perspective. Chen still getting some space to farm. The next window, we were talking about Mirana Ags. It seems like it's going to be Chen Ags. You know, that's another big item pickup, about 1,500 gold away. There's now Ad Finem move into the Roche pit, and I lose another prediction. Yep.
Woohoo!
Well done,
We were
Ad
wrong
Finem.
on the tower, though. It took 10 minutes for the first tower, actually.
Surprising.
Oh,
Hook shot up top. Yep, on to Old 11. Nyx Assassin in some trouble here. Blade Mails come out. I don't think Old 11 survives this one. Spike Carapace will not be enough to save him. Shadow Demon sets up the kill. Clockwork actually gets credit. Very nice. And they still finish off Roche. The best of both worlds. A free Nyx and an Aegis.
Yeah, Ad Finem are doing a very good job right now. Once again, shutting down this Nyx Assassin. He also doesn't have the best hero matchup. I think Clockwork is one of the better heroes against this Nyx that they did pick after the clock was chosen by Ad Finem. The moment you get isolated like this with the Blade Mail, Nyx Assassin's cast animation on the stun is actually too long to ever get it off when you're caught in the cogs with Battery Assault. And you just saw it there. He had absolutely no play until he died.
Carapace is only so useful in that similar vein. Battery Assault is steady damage over a duration, so maybe you Carapace one, you get the stun, but after that, if Clock closes the gap again, you're donezo. There's just no getting away unless you've got a Vendetta or something. It's tough. This is really... I think Nyx is definitely one of those classic momentum heroes, as we talked about, and this is clearly the opposite of that. Still sitting on Arcane Boots. At this point, you definitely want to have some kind of mobility tool so you can get into those sticky situations and at least have a chance of surviving with either a Force or a Blink, and he's not even close to either of those.
The gold is still looking fine for EHOME, though. The Luna is still the big farmer. Chen, look who they found.
Speak of the devil.
What do you know?
Easy kill. There's the Spike Carapace. Follow-up stun on Clinks, but Battery Assault just too damn strong. Another one for Skylark here. Speak of the devil, Sin.
It doesn't feel like they're winning the game, though. Like, they're getting these couple of pickoffs, which are nice. They got the Roche, but can they convert it into anything meaningful? They've taken one tower at 20 minutes. It's still... Their waves are getting pushed by the by the Luna, the Storm, and the Chen creeps. Chen almost has Aghanims now. Actually going to find Lanham here, Madara, but won't be able to kill him. Is there a hook shot? Nope. So he's fine. And EHOME are doing a pretty good job at just, making space, basically, for their cores. And with Chen getting this X in level 11 within a fairly recent future, then, he will actually become powerful again. So they're using this downtime of their lineup pretty well, actually. This could have gone way worse.
Sylar has still consistently been the number one farmer pretty much this entire game. He's got the Manta Style and another 3,000 gold. So another item in 30 minutes, this Luna might be a force to be reckoned with. As you mentioned before, also Shadow Demon, not a hero that can really disrupt her, or pardon me, a hero that wants to disrupt her. So maybe some way that Ad Finem can handle these fights. Doom did not go for the Midas. He actually went for the Blink Dagger. And he's going to put it to good use here as he catches the Storm, finds the initiation, hits him with the Infernal Blade, and there is nothing you can do if you're old chicken.
Big kill. He loses Bloodstone charges there.
Yep. Down to 8.
4 of them. And they got the mid tower. This is what I was getting at. Like, Ad Finem needs to start taking some more map control. These pickoffs are nice, but they need to result in a collateral that allows them to play the game like they're ahead. Mid tower is a big piece in the puzzle that will help Clinks move around and get picks, and will help Clockwork get more access to the Radiant jungle, which they, they definitely want to target that. They want to lock that down because they should have this feeling, especially with the ward they've placed now. Now they obviously know that EHOME must be using this place for really good economy. When they have a Luna lineup and a Chen going Ags, that area, the Ancients, is the biggest place on the map that they need to contest.
Nyx, Dara nearby. Neither of them have detection. Radiant actually have that sentry ward down. Old 11 is being scouted out. Clinks has also picked up a BKB to go with that Aegis. Still on that 10-second charge.
Oh, nice shot.
Connects on the Luna. She's level 15, trying to get off the Eclipse, but just can't do it. The battery assault is too much. And they find a freebie on Sylar, looking for more. Madara actually pops the BKB and Snare goes right through it, but they still catch Old 11 with the Infernal Blade, and it's enough damage. Spartan does find that kill. 2 cores down on the side of EHOME. Ad Finem gearing up for a push. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, though, Old Chicken doing some split push, gets this tier 2 down to about half HP, forces a TP back home, and this might actually break up the push from Ad Finem.
Ad Finem had no idea, but that moment of opportunity was like 5 seconds long. Luna's BKB was flying out on the courier when they jumped her, and she didn't have it yet. So they found the perfect timing. Else I think Luna can BKB there and fight back. Yeah, Clink's is going to hit hard, but they could have probably countered him out a bit. Oh, he's going to get jumped by
They might do it now. Old Chicken bringing him low, multicast from the Ogre. That's the end of the Aegis, but now maybe Ad Finem can turn the other way as he comes back. Lanham getting low. Madara comes back to life, trying to find a target. He's trying to run for it, but it's just too much. Another multicast from the Ogre. Hadouken on Spartan does get the kill there as they trade 1 for 1, but now with the Aegis down, they have to retreat. Maybe next time gets left behind. They'll lose the Shadow Demon on top of it. EHOME have a successful defense at the tier 2. Get a couple of kills to boot. Do they find one more here? Spartan in the tree line. Old Chicken walks by, but doesn't have the vision.
Has Doom again.
Oh, there's the Blink Dagger.
No! Like quarter of a second.
Oh, man.
Blinked in right before I was ready, got the Infernal Blade off, but no Doom.
Does have a nice little cast point on it. Not the easy. There is a moment there where the Storm can react. Oh, boy. That was Doom a few patches ago. It would have been a different story, though.
Yeah, he probably would have got that off after the Infernal Blade, actually.
Close one.
So, what do we got? Garter got bags. He's level 11. He's going to get a Dragon and a Granite Golem. Pretty much exactly what he wants right now. I think you want to split push, take out the wave with the Dragon, and then you want to have the team fight creep. It's either you want the Golem or you want the Thunderhide for the attack speed. But it's good for Luna and Storm in a way. I think the health is just better. So he got the perfect creeps in my opinion for this moment.
Yeah.
A little bit of fortune there.
They buffed the Lizard not that long ago, right? It's actually pretty good now, where it used to be the worst by far. So hold that thought. Storm breaks the smoke, zips in, jumps the Shadow Demon, gets an easy pick off there. P coming in from Doom, Madara inbound. They've got the Moonlight Shadow on, but EHOME just back up and reset things a little bit, happy with their pickoff.
I think they're going to keep pushing here, though. This Luna is very strong, and they have the Chen creeps to back it up.
Tyler also level
good
16.
vision in the area.
Nice Manta. BKB comes off. He does get Doom, but it's not going to be much. It'll cost him his life, and Luna will stay alive. Lana, meanwhile, isolated on the high ground inside of the cogs. Old Chicken trying to keep him alive. He gets Skylark low, but the force stack to the low ground will ensure his survival. Luna does survive the duration of the Doom. Easy peasy. Ends up pretty well for EHOME. They don't lose a single hero. They kill the Doom, and now they know that big ultimate's on cooldown. Lana almost dies to the Clinks, but Madara will feed his life away to get off that one strict auto attack. It wasn't even enough for the kill, but the Clockwork, he gets him with the rocket. Okay, that's got to feel good at least.
You're not very happy with this if you're at Finem, though.
You lose the tier 2 tower. It's a pretty disastrous fight, all things considered.
And,
ouch.
In a way they could have just disengaged there. It's easy to get tempted as Clinks to go for that kill on the Ogre, but you need to look at the bigger picture. Like, what's the value of the kill, risk, reward? Even if he gets that kill and gets away, it's probably not worth the risk for how little that Ogre kill is worth. And then, of course, as we saw, he got punished. And it's not just the 1 minute death timer, it's the 1 minute where, in addition to him being out, it just gives map control to EHOME. They feel safe for a whole minute to push out all their waves. They can reestablish themselves, get all their mana and health back, and be ready to fight. If this Clinks didn't die there, Ad Finem could be making an aggressive move on EHOME right now. But now they don't have any options.
Another smoke comes out from EHOME. They pop it in their jungle. No wards down. If they can find a rotation, 9-second BKB on Sylar, ready to go. Down bottom, Storm thinking about an initiation onto Spartan. Not sure if they're actually going to find the angle to initiate here. What is Doom working on? He's got himself a Perseverance now to go with that Blink Dagger. Lincoln's? Refresher?
Lotus?
Lotus?
I don't
Okay.
actually
None of
really
them
know
sound
what's
good.
that good here.
Hook shot, comes in onto Nyx. Arrow actually gets sidestepped.
Look who they
11
found.
could still live here. Nope, not quite.
Found the Nyx, boys. Oh. Nice blink
While on
from
the
Doom,
other
actually.
side, not going to be enough to save him though. Moonlight Shadow comes out and he gets dropped. It's a 1-for-1, Nyx for Doom. Okay, now EHOME just continue the push. They're going to try to get this tier 2, and it should be pretty easy. Glyph comes out straight away. Ad Finem looking like they want to mount a defense here, but it's going to be tough, especially with these Chen creeps. We got that Ancient Black Drag in there. Here we go. Chicken jumps in, destroys the Shadow Demon. Lucent Beam from Sylar gives an extra burst to make it a clean kill. Skylark with Cogs breaks up the fight. Madara off to the side. Is there any detection for EHOME? I think they're about at the point where they might just want to pick up a gem.
I think gem is a great item for both teams now. This game is about who gets to jump and who has their cooldowns ready and goes in. But yeah, EHOME just managed to gain a lot of ground, in my opinion, in these last 3 minutes. They've taken 2 tier, or all of the towers actually from Ad Finem outside their base are now gone. EHOME have managed to set up a decent aggressive ward in the bottom lane, just following that fight that could give them a pick off for Storm and or Nyx. They're starting to control the Roche area as well. They found a ward here, so Ad Finem losing control. And Sylar just farming away. So this game is starting to come up really much EHOME right now for me, and it's not like a massive gold lead. You know, look at the graph, and you feel like this game is pretty even, and it is. But the wealth is just distributed better for the game plan on the Radiant. I feel. It's okay that this Nyx is poor. He went for a Blink Dagger, which I'm a really big fan of in this game. If you're having a hard time as Nyx, just act as 4 or 5. You know, jump in, set up the fight, use your Carapace, do what you can, then die. And instead, he's letting Chen shine here. I think it's good.
And Chen now moving into a mech, has that recipe picked up, so he'll have some Guardian Greaves coming his way before too long. And Clinks has also now picked up a BKB. I think we've seen it already. It's that 9-second charge now, but more magic immunity for the team. Mirana also working on her BKB, about 400 gold off. Both teams with rotations here. EHOME moving into enemy territory. They'll actually get one of these Thunder Hides. Pretty nice.
Yeah, he just lost his dragon to the Clinks, so he has to get a new creep. I don't think he actually wanted that one, but we should mention Storm got a Linken's. Oh, he's gonna doom the Nyx here.
And it's gonna cost him his life, it looks like. They've got the detection, there's a Sentry Ward down, Doom falls, now Madara comes in, pops the BKB. A lot of damage coming out from Sylar, he's got the BKB on, but he'll actually fall in turn. Clinks with his BKB survives through it, it's a 1-for-2. Storm still zipping around. They'll catch him maybe next time. He gets off the defensive disruption, but he will not survive the onslaught. Ends up being another good fight here for EHOME.
Yeah, I don't know if the Doom realized that Storm has the Linken's, because Doom doesn't have a creep to break the Linken's with right now, so he can't actually Doom the Storm anymore. And if that's the reason he doomed the Nyx, or if he just randomly, you know, found him. Yes, another prediction.
Wow, I really thought it would be 6-10. In 30 minutes, there have only been 4 Ancients stacked.
To be honest with you, it also should have been, I think. I definitely think EHOME could have prioritized more. When you have a Chen, you can very easily stack that Ancient camp multiple times, and it's good for your Luna and it's good for your Chen to have options. So I'm with you. I don't think your pick was bad. I just think the game didn't play out that way for EHOME.
Yeah. Luna going into a Scotty, kind of an interesting choice here. Get a little extra utility going on and all these big stats. He's getting pretty beefy though. Actually really close to it, just a couple hundred gold off.
Yeah. And I'm guessing the next item here will be a butterfly, so Clinks will, which looks like Clinks is itemizing Hex. That's very standard at this point. That Luna is going to be a really difficult kill when she gets evasion, because Clinks have to get this Hex into a full MKB before he can respond to that, and I think Luna will be just one step ahead on her build.
Moonlight Shadow, initiation from Old Chicken, going in onto the Shadow Demon. They'll find him, hits him with the Vortex. Beautiful arrow, locks him down, Storm dies. Olan will also get left behind. Storm with a lot of Bloodstone charges will be up in just a couple of seconds here, but EHOME have to retreat. You might have a Linken's, but ain't gonna save you from that Potom arrow.
Yeah, that's such an important arrow to land right there. They get rid of a lot of Bloodstorm Bloodstone charges on the Storm. They prevent EHOME from setting up shop, basically, at their own secret shop here, which could have given them a Roshan eventually. Now EHOME has to fight their way back up there. And it looks like Ad Finem are ready to zone control it. Look at Shadow Demon's decision to buy a healing salve and fly out just so he can stay available to his team. Shows they have a very good read on what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Sticking around the area. EKB and Marana.
Roche is up right now, so seems kind of posturing around here, but it seems like neither really want to commit. Rocket Flare scouts it out, kind of sees the movements. Jen does now have Met completed, picks up another dragon to go with this golem. Calls the Centaur.
This Roche is really important. It's more than likely the team that gets this Roche wins the game the way it looks right. It's in a very volatile state where, you know, if you don't get the Aegis and push, they can suddenly just take Rax with Luna.
Did they see that smoke? They have a ward on the other side of the river. It goes right here. I think they saw it right on the edge. So Ad Finem should know
hex
this.
Pick up right now. EHOME does not know that this just happened.
Oh no, Ad Finem in an awkward position here. Storm starts it off. They kept the Shadow Demon. He dies first. BKB from Madara mitigates some of this Eclipse damage, but EHOME get the opening that they needed, and now Madara is on the run. His BKB soon to expire. His team will leave him high and dry as he gets caught by a stun from the Ogre and chased down by the Storm. It's a 2-for-0. No buybacks available on the 2 down, and that means Roche will be available here for EHOME to take.
This is actually a lane of Rax for EHOME. If they knew there's no buyback, they would have pushed the base, but they're not sure. So they go for the safer play and taking Roche here. They might have realized if they saw Klinks pick up that Hex. I thought they didn't see him, but they had a very good sentry placement there inside that enabled Storm to go for that jump. So they should have seen he had Hex, and that could have indicated that he just thought that wouldn't have buyback. Rax, but still, very good claim here for EHOME.
Especially when you have a Storm, one of the best Aegis carriers.
Yeah.
A little more tempting. And he's going to have an Orchid coming out. Just a couple hundred gold off that recipe. He already has both Oblivion Staves. So things looking pretty good for EHOME at this point, Sind. It's still not a staggering gold lead, but it feels like they're finally at a point where they just have the superior team fight. They're getting those big items that Ad Finem just can't quite deal with.
And it's also about...
Bug will get caught. Yeah, that's a big pick off there.
It's about the value of their gold, too. I mean, the graph is one thing, but it's about how much the heroes do with their gold. I feel like this Ogre with a 1700 net worth is doing so much this game. Just by virtue of how good Bloodlust is, of all the detection he is buying, so he's poor, right? He has no net worth, but he's still a 2k health hero that gives them stronger cores in the fights and gives them vision. And then you have the Nyx, who is also pretty poor, but he has what he needs, right? He's just setting them up for success. Yeah. So the gold for them is very valuable. You look at the Doom, however, that Perseverance is 2k gold right now that does nothing. Like, it's actually a useless item, more or less, for him. So the lead is bigger than it looks.
Yeah, I mean, that could be like almost a Vlad's or something like that that could actually provide some value to the team. But
yeah.
All that aside, tier 3 tower in the mid lane goes down. Klinks gets initiated on, and Disruption will buy him a little bit of time, but it might not save their base. BKB gets popped as he comes out. Hook shot in. Cogs help break up the fight as Luna
really
now gets
setup.
doomed. This could be what Ad Finem were waiting for. They will almost find a kill on the Luna, but the send back. Oh, Chen, the hero in this fight, now back to the fight. We'll see the counter initiation. Nice stun on 2 from the Nyx. His old chicken jumps in and starts to clean it up. Madara and Spartan down. Skylark getting dove alongside maybe next time. They do not have any buybacks. And I think we might be moments from a GG call here. Thug with his BKB on will stand his ground just a little bit longer, but that is crippling. The Luna gets isolated and then survives through it all. Beautifully done.
And Nyx showing off that great counterplay that he has against Luna or against Marana Eggs. Just blinks on her, pops Carapace, and she gets stunned by her auto Starstorm that can't switch off. And ends up getting caught there by the Storm. Yeah, nice game from EHOME. I think not the cleanest we've seen from them. There were a couple of hiccups along the way early, especially all the deaths on Nyx. But